Boker Tov, moving on now to discuss the different melachot which are permissible or not permissible on Yom Tov. Let's start with a major one, which is havara, creating a new fire on Yom Tov, lighting a fire from an existing flame, extinguishing. This is all something we need to go into and try to understand. So we know very well that lighting for the purposes of ochel nefesh, the purposes of food, is completely permissible on Yom Tov. So if one has an existing flame, one can create a new flame. One has some food heating up on a flame and wants to heat up a different kind of food on another flame. One can take a match and light a new flame from the existing flame, and like this be able to have another fire on Yom Tov. In the times of in the olden days, you would put in more wood, more fuel into the fire. Now it's permissible as an existing flame, and you now increase it and strengthen it. That's all permissible to do on Yom Tov. However, the Hachamim teach us in the Gemara in Bitzah that it's forbidden to create a new flame. And this, according to the vast majority of the Rishonim, is a rabbinic prohibition in its nature. And this is because of its molid, it's creating something new. What's the problem with creating something new on Yom Tov? One understanding is that it's mukteh. Another understanding is that the problem is creating something new when you had the ability to do it before Yom Tov. The Rambam writes that because you could have created the flame before Yom Tov, and you can just use that flame and lighten more flames, since it was possible to be done before Yom Tov, and creating a new fire is a kind of molid, it's kind of creating something new. It's forbidden from the Hachamim to do so on Yom Tov. And this is the halacha, that although one can light new flames from an existing flame, it's forbidden, at least midrabanan, to light a new flame on Yom Tov. So, if there is an existing flame on, one can increase it, but one cannot switch on a new flame and create a new flame on Yom Tov. However, firstly, to recognize that since this is an Isur Darabanan, if there is no alternative, then one can ask a non-Jew to create a new flame if there is a mitzvah involved. So for example, you come into second night Yom Tov, and you prepared a light before Yom Tov, for somehow it went out. And now you have no existing flame, and you cannot now light the candles, you cannot light more flames. And so to do it yourself would be an Isur Darabanan. But since there is a mitzvah involved, it's for the purposes of the Yom Tov candles, it's for the purposes of heating up food, and so on and so forth. One is permitted to ask a non-Jew to light a new flame, and from that flame to light the Yom Tov candles, or to cook some other food, etc. So although it's a sur for a Jew to light a new flame on Yom Tov, it is permissible to ask a non-Jew when the circumstances are necessary to do so, when there is a mitzvah involved, to create a new flame. Secondly, and this is quite rare in its application, is that if it was not possible to do so before Yom Tov, so the example given by the Hida is that a person came out of prison. He was, and he didn't have a chance to light. He came straight to Chag, didn't have a chance to light a fire before Yom Tov, because the whole reason why the Hachamim said you can't light a new flame on Yom Tov is because you could have done so before. When it was not possible for you to do so before, then Hamvadia is posek that the halacha is one can light on Yom Tov. This is very rare in its application. We would have to be talking about a situation which a person, for whatever reason, was unable to light the flame before Yom Tov. In such a scenario, it would be permissible to light themselves. But generally speaking, if a person is stuck and has no flame to light from and needs a flame for a mitzvah or for food for Yom Tov, one should really ask a non-Jew to light the flame. Now, because we're allowed to light from an existing flame for ochel nefesh, it therefore becomes permissible to light for anything on Yom Tov. As a principle we established last week, that mitoch, anything which is permissible for ochel nefesh is permissible outright. And therefore, it's permissible to light extra candles, let's say, for have a nice atmosphere, to have more candles on the table. One wants more light. The lights have gone out, it's dark, or a person just wants there to be extra candles. It adds aura and ambience to the meal, wherever they are. That's all permissible, even though it's not being done for food. Nonetheless, it is mutar. The major question is with regards to lighting a yahrzeit candle for Nahala. So here, really, one could argue that it could be done because it's being done for the Yom Tov, although it's not Ochel Nefesh, but it's being done for the soul of their parents, whoever it may be. Really, the poskim are not happy with this, lighting yahrzeit candles on Yom Tov itself, because although lighting for a purpose is permissible, even if that purpose isn't a food purpose, but it needs to be a purpose where the benefit is clear and is there, or there's a mitzvah involved. So, for example, the Shulchan Aruch talks about lighting a candle in the synagogue. That's permissible because that adds ambiance to the Beit Knesset, and that's mutar. But just lighting for parents really should be done in advance of Yom Tov. Even if one's parents or one's loved one's nachala, a yahrzeit falls on Yom Tov, it should be lit in advance of Yom Tov. There were communities which had the minhag to do so. If that's the minhag of a certain person who knows that's the established minhag, they would light candles on Yom Tov, then fine, there is what to rely on. But really, preferably speaking, if one needs to light candles for someone, for a dead person on Yom Tov, it should be done in advance of Yom Tov.